It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower. Our mission really is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Kayland. She's in the building, and she'll be talking about lace it up and lead from the front. Talking about veterans these days. We'll talk about that. What's going on? How are you doing, Kayland?
I'm doing good, Shay. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. And I know we're having a conversation today about veterans, about transition from being a veteran in the armed services. And thank you for your service, by the way, to really transition into corporate America and doing some amazing things. Take a moment, if you would. I'm just curious, why are we having this conversation in 2026? Why is there still a gap between folks that are able to transition from being a veteran back into, I'll say, society? What's some of the things that hold them back these days?
So what I seen when I transitioned in 2022, when I retired, some of the things that I seen was that we're training people to just get out. We're talking about resumes. We're talking about jobs that you might want. We're talking about going to school. We're not talking about the things that actually can network you to some place where you can actually get a job. I mean, it's good that you're showing me how to do a resume. It's good that you're showing me how to interview. But where's the network? Because, like me, I had spent 22 years in the Army. I joined at 17 years old. So I had no network. My only network was the Army. It was my Army family. So, I mean, unfortunately, when you leave that family behind. So you don't have those leaders taking care of you anymore. You don't have those soldiers that you got to take care of anymore. You got to start worrying about yourself. And I think that for us, we just don't have that network there. There's a lot of great things that are going on, but it's just not enough resources behind it in order to help us. There's one company that I used when I ended up retiring, and I don't want to say its name because I don't want to talk bad about it, but they just helped me with a resume. I mean, you didn't talk to me about how to interview. You didn't talk to me about networking, like all these things I had to learn on my own. So over the last 4 years, all of my trials and error have made me come to EmpowerVet Women. I'm so interested in helping, particularly females, when they come out, because what I have noticed is that female unemployment for veterans is around 7% compared to males at 3%. Because, a lot of times, I mean, the Army for us is male dominated. So they have that network that they use when they come out. And women, it's not a lot of us. So we don't have that network to fall back on for us. So it's really, really hard. So I am interested in creating a network of veteran women who want to succeed, who want to come out of the Army or come out of the military, in general, and just want to transcend into the corporate world. Whether that's being an entrepreneur, whether that's working in the corporate world, I'm just interested, and also connecting with CEOs who are willing to be allies to help female veterans as well, too.
Well said. And I know you started a movement called Empower Her Vet. Is that right?
It's Empower Vet Women. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Empower Vet Women. Why is that mission? And you were very clear. Empower Vet Women. Why is that mission so near and dear to your heart?
It's near and dear to me because, like I said, when I got out, there was no connection. I had to build my own network. I had to help myself. And it would be so nice that when women come out, so I can help with this unemployment gap for us, it would be so nice if I had some allies, some CEOs to help out, to bring in some of this female leadership, because we are leaders. And a lot of times, too, when I interview Shay, they would not really correlate my resume Army experience with me being a veteran. And I really don't understand sometimes why that is. A lot of times corporations and businesses, like, they just don't really understand that females are veterans. So it was really hard for me to get them to understand that I have 22 years of leadership experience. I've been in charge of thousands of people. I've made decisions like way up here, give me a chance. But I felt like we don't have that bridge there. And I just want to be able to connect us from transition to where we're trying to go, whether, like I said, that's entrepreneurship or whether that's just going into business and corporate America, whatever it is, I want to be able to help females be able to bridge that little gap there.
Well said. And I had a chance to meet you in person. I don't get a chance to meet a lot of folks in person, by the way. I did meet you when I was down in Orlando, Florida. And one of the phrases you had, which is the topic for today, is really about lace up and lead from the front. Where did that term come from? And how does someone apply that in their everyday life? And then we'll do a deep dive, ladies and gentlemen. In a few minutes, we'll do a deep dive and learn a little more about her backstory.
All right. So for me, I've been saying this for like 20 years in the Army. I have always considered myself a mentor. So I've had a few females that I've actually got a chance to mentor, and they still contact me and reach out to me often about, how to help them see the bigger picture of things. So I would always explain it in a way that made sense for me. You lace up your boots and put your boots on just like everybody else that you work for or that works for you. Don't ever downplay your knowledge, your skill, whatever you have been taught and whatever you've learned and earned thus far. So you need to lace up and lead from the front. And it's funny that you say that. I just came back from like a little vacation, and one of my old female soldiers called me because she was scared and she was going through stuff. And I'm like, look here, girl, what have I always told you? You got to freaking lace them boots up and lead from the front. Don't be afraid. They put their boots on just like you every day. You are no different than anybody else. So don't be afraid to do what you have to do. You are trained, you are skilled, you are more than worthy of being where you are. So don't feel like you need to downplay yourself. So I constantly have this conversation with women, not just with women, but with men too. But I've always said that don't be afraid. You put your boots on just like everybody else. I don't care if it's a 4-star general. I don't care if it's a colonel. They're people just like you. So that's where that's where it came from. I've always been saying that for a very, very long time.
I love it, by the way. Well said. Thanks for all you do. And what do you say to the person listening right now and says, well, I like what I'm hearing, but I'm not sure, Shay, here's the question, are there some signs I should look for that maybe say I'm not leading from the front? And if there are some signs, what are some small things you say, you know what, if this is happening or you're thinking this, these are signs you're not leading from the front and you really need to step it up. Are there any signs or indications someone should look for so they can make sure they're on the right path?
So I know for me, I can't speak for anyone else. I always speak for self. For me, some of the things that I've seen, I have to be able to stand up and choose the hard right over the easy wrong. That is so easy to get like caught up in. You have to make sure that you're doing what you're doing for the right reasons. And I've always tried to make sure that I was doing things for the right reasons. So I always look at that. If I'm doing something for the wrong reason, I'm not leading from the front. And if I'm asking you to do something, would I do it? So that's how I've always looked at my career. That's how I look at things now, still today. So that's what I mean from leading from the front. Are you doing what's right? Are you on the right side of right? You can't be on the wrong side telling people to do what's right. You got to be doing all of what you're saying.
I love how you said that. And I'm curious, as you were saying that, you seem to always be able to take action, even in the face when there's uncertainty. What do you say to the person that I'm just waiting for the perfect time because they're a little fearful, they're a little shy, and they're like, there's got to be a perfect time for me to kind of jump in there. You, on the other hand, although you couldn't see the way all the time, you still was able to move forward. And I guess my question is, how are you able to move forward in the face of fear or the face of the unknown, but you still take action? Where does that drive come from?
That comes from me just not saving the good stuff for later. I do not believe in that. I'll tell you a story right now how I literally retired. There was no plan. I came home, I remember it clear as day. It was the end of August 2021. I came home from work and I told my husband, I said, you know what? I didn't have a really good day today. I said, I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I woke up that morning, said, I don't think I want to be in the army anymore. I think I'm ready to retire. And he was like, what's the plan? I was like, oh God, I don't really have a plan. I don't have a plan. And he was like, so what are you gonna do? You know, has been our lifeline. You know, you've done this your whole life. What are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. So I literally planned my retirement while I was retiring. From interviews to resumes, trying to get myself together, trying to build a network that I did not have. So I always say, just don't save the good stuff for later. Trust your gut. And although you can't see the entire staircase, you know that there are steps there. Just keep going, and you can build a plan as you go. You can build it as you go.
I love the build the plan as you go. And you're doing it purposely, by the way. You know, someone listening might say, man, Shay, her life has always been perfect. And it might lead us to a segment we have here called Today
Yeah.
is My January 1st. Now, for all folks who tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know what we're about to do. And maybe you love to say those words every night. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you. And for everyone else who's watching for the very first time, today is my January 1st is our personal mantra at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is back there, or how bright and sunny the future is, the past no longer equals the future. And so my question for Kayland on the other side is really, when was there a time where there was just a setback in your life? Maybe life's been perfect. We'll figure that out. And how were you able to bounce back from it?
Life has not been perfect. I can tell you that. I had a lot of things happen to me, but I would say if I could do something over again, it would be to put my family first. In the Army, you're taught to put the mission first. It's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're there for. But I needed a balance. I did not have a balance. I often did everything for the Army before my family. And at the end of the day, when I retired and I took that uniform off, all I had was my family. And I really thought about it like, man, like I put a lot on my husband. He had to take care of everything by himself. And I didn't even think to ask, you know, was he doing okay? Did he need my help on anything? Is there something that I could be doing more of? Didn't think of it because he always told me, don't worry about me. I got the kids. You just do your job for the Army. And it's great that I had that. But when I retired, I really had to self reflect on how I really placed my career above my family, and I should have had a balance. So if there's anything that I can say, and it's just not just for Army, it's just for anything in life, try to have a balance with the people that love you the most, because when your business is done, when your friends and coworkers and colleagues and business partners are gone, all you have is your family. So try to find balance in that and know that those people are the ones that are always going to be there for you. So that would be my do-over.
I love that. Great story. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being authentic. I certainly appreciate that. You know, one of the questions I like to ask, and you do a lot around leadership, right? And a lot of helping folks be leaders. What do you say to the entrepreneur that's watching now and is like, wow, I want to lead from the front, but I have a bunch of folks who are 1099s. They really don't work for me, but they work as part of our team. Or it's just me and another person. What does she say? And here's the question. What is Kayland's ideas to leading a very small group of folks? What is something I should be doing differently maybe than someone that's leading a big organization? You have any thoughts? You have any perspectives on that?
So with me just getting started, what I'm learning is networking is key. You got to keep promoting yourself. No matter if you get no shares, no likes, no comments, no one in your network, just keep going, because someone's going to like what they see. And you might not be everyone's cup of tea at that very moment, but trust me, you will find your circle. You will find your network. I've literally found mine at the Miss America Florida pageant. I literally found my circle, and I'm so proud of the women that I'm going to be working with, because they're amazing women. But it took me 4 years to find my network. So don't feel like, you know, because you haven't found it yet, that it's not coming. It's coming. Just keep promoting yourself, keep getting out there. Try to find things that are outside your comfort zone, because for me, a pageant was completely outside of my comfort zone. And I did it, and look what it yielded me on the other end. So just keep going. Whatever that looks like for you, I'm not really sure. Just keep going. Keep going.
I love it. You know, one of my favorite questions that the ask, we have time, we have a few minutes now, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? And I love to ask that question because you had a lot of training with the military. Thanks for serving. You're back in school again, so continue your education there. You've read more books than we can probably remember these days. You've had many mentors along this journey. But if you had to step back and say, you know, Shay, this is one of the best pieces of advice that's been given to me that I want to share with the audience, what would it be and why?
I had a sergeant major when I was on my third to last assignment. And I remember my job was to talk in front of thousands of people, and I had to do like this training and that nobody else knew how to do except for me because I was the only person that was trained to do it. So I was really nervous about doing it because no one knew what it was. I was the only person that knew how to do it. And for me, he told me, he said, "What are you scared of?" He was like, "You're trained. You know what you're doing. So why are you afraid to do this training? If you mess up, no one knows that you messed up because this is you doing the training." Now, of course, they can go back and look it up and see. But he was like, "You need to command presence when you walk in the room. Don't be afraid." He's like, "Even if you don't know it all, or you might be afraid that you don't have it all together, you might not even know what you're going to say. Don't be afraid to command presence when you enter a room." And I've always carried that with me. I don't care what I'm doing. If I really don't know, I'm going to figure it out. When I go in there, people are going to believe that I know what I'm doing.
I love that, by the way. You're doing something you love to do now, vet, Empower Women Vet. Is that right?
EmpowerVet Women.
I keep saying Empower Vet Women is something you focus on now and you're enjoying it. I guess the question I have is, what does success look like for you these days? What does it feel like?
It feels like me changing one person's life, just helping one female be impactful, helping her with her health, her weight, her, not being afraid to speak in front of people, not being afraid to show up, not being afraid to stand up for herself. Whatever that is, I just like to help people. And I think that is my calling, to help people. Whatever that is, it's not just empowering vet women, but just helping people in general. My whole family, we're just really big on helping people because that's our calling. We're all the same in my house. We want to help. We want to be a part of something bigger because when I leave this earth, I want to know that I left an impact. I want to know that I did something that was meaningful and that was helpful to people, and that's going to carry on for generations. Yeah.
And you talk. Thanks for sharing, and it will carry on for generations. And I know you talked about Empower Vet Women. When you talk about that, two questions. The first question is, what do you say to someone right now that's thinking about transitioning? And they're like, well, okay, Shay, she did the transition. I'm a year, 2, 3 out. She didn't have a plan. But if she looks back now, what's 1, 2, or 3 things that she could share with me? So maybe I have a plan. Not saying they're better than you, but they're like, I'm going to have a plan. What would you say to that person that's watching and listening right now? What's maybe 1, 2 things, 1, 2, or 3 things they can do to prepare for the transition?
What I would say is, the Army, the military is going to give you that transition training to get out, but that's not enough. Build your network, get on LinkedIn, find people that are going in the field that you're trying to get into, whether that's, a job, whether that's entrepreneur. Get out there and network as much as you can. Spend your last 2, 3 years networking because that's going to help you out a lot. I would also say that make sure your resume is transferable. And when I say that, I mean making sure that your military language and lingo for your skills, all that stuff, matches up with what civilians look for. There's a way to translate it. I can go on and on, but there's a lot of different resources that you can use to make sure that your resume is tight and it looks good to be able to find the work that you're looking for. If you're not in college, your last 2 to 3 years, get in college, get enrolled. Even if you don't finish the degree before you get out, start because that college degree is going to play big parts. And I think a lot of times with veterans, we have this thing that I'm going to come out of the Army because I got the skills, I got the training, I got this leadership. I'm going to be able to get a job right away. That doesn't always work. It'll work if you have a network, but if you don't have a network, you can fall back on your education. So make sure that you're going to school, make sure that you're getting that degree. And like I said, even if you haven't started yet, start. So that way, when you come out, you'll be close to being done, because that's also going to work wonders for you going to wherever you're going. And even if it's not that you're wanting to get a job, if you're wanting to go be an entrepreneur, that degree is still going to help you learn skills that you'll need to operate a business.
You've accomplished so much in 22 years in the military and what you're doing now. What drives you every single morning, or I should say, what do you enjoy most about what you're doing now that gets you up every single morning with the same fire, same excitement, same big smile on your face? What keeps that fire burning?
I'm an overachiever. I want to do everything. Like I don't have a limit. I just want to do every little thing I can. I want to make the best of my day when I'm awake, while I'm alive, while I'm breathing. I lost my sister. She died at 39 years old. That added some extra fuel to me. I've always been an achiever, but when I just watched her like passed away unexpectedly, it made me go into overdrive. I want to do everything because our days are not promised. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going to happen. And if you're waking up every day and you're not doing anything with yourself, you're not being a positive, impactful person, not only to yourself, but to the people around you, what are you doing? What are you doing? So that's how I look at my life. And I will not save the good stuff later. If I have an idea, if I have a thought, if I have something that I can do to give back, to be impactful to people that are around me, people that are listening to me, people that are watching me, people that I can help, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to wait on it. I'm going to do it. So I am literally in overdrive. I feel like I can do any and everything that I want to, and I'm going to. I'm going to do what I can to help people be better people, because I want to be that person that, they can look back and say, oh, I remember when, I was talking to Kayland. She actually pushed me to go do this. She pushed me to go there. That makes me feel good to know that everything that I'm doing is not wasted. It's impactful. So I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that. And like I said, I ain't saving the good stuff for later. I'm doing everything now.
I love it, by the way. As you were speaking, I'm curious, are there any affirmations that you tell yourself to keep yourself, not saying pumped up, but to keep yourself going? Or is there something that you look at on a daily basis? Is there one or two passages or affirmations or sayings or quotes you have that really light you fire? If you had to mention one or two right now, what pops top of mind to you and why?
I actually have a lot, but to start my morning off, my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. There is an artist named Londrell. It's a song called Gratitude. My alarm goes off to that song every morning, and I listen to the entire song all the way through the morning, brushing my teeth, getting ready for the morning. That is my daily affirmation song. Some of the books that I've read, The 48 Laws of Power. Oh my goodness, there's so many books that I read that I could tell you about, but I'm not even gonna go there. But that's my main book. And then my song of the morning is Londrell Gratitude. That song is so powerful to me. It has a lot of affirmations in it. It talks about being grateful because, I mean, just like his song says, you got to be grateful because somebody didn't wake up today. And I'm grateful that I'm, awake and I'm able to do what I like to do and love to do and like to help people. So I'm grateful. That is my mantra. I'm just grateful. Grateful.
Grateful. And then, so we come down the whole stretch. You mentioned the word grateful. You mentioned it a couple of times, by the way. How do you want to be remembered? When your day comes and you transition, how do you want people to remember the one and only that's you on the other side, Kayland?
I want to be remembered for always being positive, being impactful, helpful, and just a positive part of life. I want to be remembered as a valuable, positive, personable person in life that was impactful and that helped a lot of people. That's what I want to be remembered for. Nothing else, just that.
I love it, by the way. I love it, by the way. What do you do for fun when you're not out helping empower vet women? When you're not helping people, transition in life and lead from the front?
Yeah.
Lace up the boots. Lace up the boots. I think there's a song like that somewhere. But anyway, that has nothing to do with this. What do you do for fun when you're not out saving the world?
So I love to travel. But I'm a cornball when I travel. I don't do all like the fun stuff. I go to museums. I just came back from Colombia. I went to the village of Palenque, which is the first African village that was free of slaves there. So they were slaves, and that's the first free slaves in America. And I'm all about history and culture. I feel like the more you travel, the more you know, the better decisions that you can make in life. So I am really big on history. I like to learn. I like to travel. And when I go there, like I said, I'm not the person that's going to the fun stuff. I'm going to the museums. I want to know more about where I'm at and what's the impact on the world. What does this look like for what you guys have done for this country or the country that I'm in, or even for America? What does that look like? So I'm sort of corny when it comes to like travel, but that's just me. I want to go and I want to learn. That's just me. I am a lifelong learner. So anything learning wise, I'm all for it.
Ah, man, that is so cool. Well, as we come down the home stretch, two-part question. Number one, is your firm EmpowerVet Women? Is that looking to take on any clients right now? And if so, what type of clients are you looking for? And number two, how can folks best connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation over and beyond the time that you and I have right now?
Okay, so the people that I'm looking to connect with, of course, is veteran women in particular. I am looking still for men. I would like some allies, those CEOs, those managing partners, business owners who are willing to connect with me to help me bridge that gap for those veteran women, to help them be able to find employment, to be mentors to them, to help them get the ins and outs of how to start a business. I'm looking for that. My website right now, you can go to my website, it's empowervetwomen.com. And then you can also reach me by email at info@empowervetwomen.com. You can also reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm under Kayland Teemer. I'm also on Facebook under Kayland Teemer as well.
Well, let me say two things. Number one, thank you so much for being here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I appreciate it. Can't wait to have you back again soon.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Shay.
And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. You have a lot of choices and you choose to be with us, and we appreciate that. And I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you're doing really, really well and there's just a whole nother level of success, or you've been hit with the punch that you never really saw coming. The one thing I do believe is that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. That being said, my name is Shay Brown. I'm out. Kayland, thank you so much for being here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Peace, everybody. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.